now. And then let me do this is I am going to introduce Rhonda, and then I will turn it over to her. So like I say every time, it is always a good day when it is a red carpet day. 2021 has been a great start. Again, I thanked everybody at the start of this, just how committed and how wonderful you all are, and I really do mean it. Today, Rhonda is going to talk about Northern Colorado Writers. Awesome little thing they got going on. I'll save that bit for her. But just so you all know a little bit about Rhonda, is she grew up in northern Minnesota in a mostly Finnish enclave. She is of Norwegian descent, however, so that kind of made her the minority where she lived. She's married to a gentleman named Scott. He is in the mapping industry. They have a daughter who is having a wonderful senior year in high school. I think we can all assume why that is with kind of what's going on. They have an almost 15-year-old son who is a freshman in high school. And boy, they are not loving this distance learning business. And if I remember what my life was like as a freshman in high school, I'm with them. I wouldn't like it either. They have 2 dogs and thankfully no more rodents or reptiles. Not sure how many she had at one point, but it sounds like she's glad they're gone. So maybe we'll have to ask her over coffee. Asked Rhonda how she got started in her field. And this is an answer I wasn't expecting. She said, as a geologist, I was accustomed to writing lots and lots of reports. I morphed into being a technical writer and now have fully made the transition to fiction where I can just make stuff up. So I think that's just awesome. Some of her favorite hobbies is she reads a lot, given kind of the industry she's in, makes sense. She likes to hike in the foothills. Her family thinks she enjoys vacuuming, but in reality, it sounds like she just has a lower filth tolerance than the rest of them. Something not a lot of people know about Rhonda, but should, is she can whistle really, really loud. She's not going to demonstrate here because she doesn't want to blow out the speakers. But if you're with Rhonda and you're ever in a situation where you need a group's attention, she's your girl. So remember that when we're able to meet in person. We might, between her and Richard Perry, we'll get Richard yelling and Rhonda whistling, and we'll be able to quiet everybody down when we're in person again. I tried to think of something that's kind of in line with this creative space that Rhonda's in. So I asked Rhonda, what movie character or book character does she relate to most, and why? He said, the movie Stranger Than Fiction. Emma Thompson's character is named Karen Ethel, who is an author known for killing her main protagonists in the novels. She has writer's block, and her protagonist, a man named Harold Crick, who is played by Will Ferrell, turns out to be a real person whose life changes every time Karen writes. She says that this is because when she's writing, she has a hard time remembering that her characters are not real people. So she's wondering if it should bother her that it makes her life so miserable. So I'm not so sure, Rhonda, but I'd love to pick your brain on that a little bit. So let me spotlight Rhonda so you guys can all see her. And then make sure you put your red finger, spirit fingers up, and give us a warm welcome to Rhonda. So thank you, Rhonda.
Well, thank you very much for that entertaining introduction, Chad. As you said, I'm with Northern Colorado Writers. I am the program coordinator. Northern Colorado Writers has been around for about 15 years. We have somewhere in the order of 400 members, mostly from Northern Colorado Writers. Anywhere, there are people who write textbooks, people who write movie scripts, people who write poetry, memoir, fiction, horror, mystery, anything that can be written, we got people who do it. I was really excited that we got the invitation to speak to you today because we have a conference coming up going from April 27th to May 2nd, mostly online. And we're using a really cool platform called Whova that people from all over Northern Colorado all over Northern Colorado and actually all over the country are going to be attending. And so we thought this is a great opportunity for us to engage the local community, get interest in your companies and what you do to our members in a really easy, low cost way. And I am going to turn it over to my colleague, Eleanor Shelton, who knows everything about it. So Chad, if you could spotlight Eleanor.
Let me track her down. Oh, here she is. Eleanor, get ready. It's your show.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Rhonda, and thank you, Chad. And I had a really fun time talking with Blake and Larry and Tara in my breakout group. It was my first time participating in that, and it was a ton of fun, and I hope to be able to do it again very soon. And thank you for the red carpet opportunity. Again, I'm Eleanor Shelton, and I'm the sponsorship coordinator for Northern Colorado Writers. And as Rhonda mentioned, we have writers that run the gamut from beginning writers all the way to Pulitzer Prize nominees. I made that up, but someday we will. We totally will. Fiction, nonfiction, theater, poetry, flash fiction, everything you can think of. And we have members that are all the way from south of Denver up to well into Wyoming. And this conference that we're having, that we have every spring, it's actually April 24th through May 2nd, is one of the ways that we support writers in our community as well as all over the country, quite frankly. And because we're doing it in a hybrid method this year, we have, which is really kind of cool, because as writers, as any, as any business people, as anybody with enthusiasm for what we do, we like to get together, and it's really, really difficult right now to get together. Thank God for virtual platforms like this that we can actually see each other and interact. But we're going to have a hybrid conference this year, which means that we're going to have a very few number of sessions in person. They will be very limited seating, socially distanced. We're following all the guidelines for safety and health protocols from the state. And then we are going to be having a full week of online sessions that run the gamut from the business of writing, craft elements, legalities, anything we can think of. I think we're going to have like 30 different sessions. And so this is a great way to support writers. And so I wanted to let you know, about the conference in case you're interested in participating, but also we have wonderful exhibitor and sponsorship opportunities, which is really what I wanted to talk to you about as business people in the community. I wanted to let you know about this opportunity. We're using an interactive platform called Whova, and I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with it. It's an event platform that is really spectacular. It allows for engagement in ways that you can not even imagine. So let me tell you a little bit about what the exhibitors will get with this particular event and with Whova. It's really cool because Whova has a whole exhibitor room. So normally, if we can meet in person, we have a section completely devoted to our partners, our exhibiting partners. And we're going to have the same thing in a virtual way. So it's actually a room that exhibitors will get their own table, and attendees can go and click on your table. And it's really, really great because you don't actually have to be there, but you can preload all of your information. You can preload videos, you can preload marketing material, you can preload coupons, you can preload whatever you want. And there is a way to get leads from this. So anybody who visits your table, you will get their information and can contact them afterwards to follow up and answer questions and find out what they're looking for. So that is really cool. We're also having networking opportunities with our exhibitors. Of course, our exhibitors will have their logos spread all over our material. And we're having networking events where exhibitors can participate in these events and talk one-on-one or in a small group environment at our networking tables. And we're going to have some fun, creative events that will just be a blast, and people will want to be there. It'll be great fun. And we're going to have a passport program where conference attendees will get a virtual passport, and when they visit the exhibitors, it gets stamps, and then there are prizes and so forth. So it's a lot of fun for the attendees to participate. And that to be an exhibitor is only $50, which is crazy, but it is what it is, because we just want as many businesses that are interested to be able to participate. So there's that. We also have sponsorship opportunities, and the sponsorship opportunities are quite amazing, including 2-minute sponsorship videos that will play before certain sessions. And we have banners and all kinds of events and mentions and thank you signs and all kinds of great stuff. And sponsorship is $500 per sponsor. And that's just a very, very quick overview about the conference. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have. It was very, very high level, and we can get down into the weeds with questions if you would like, or certainly offline, we can talk about the conference and any kind of partnership opportunities that we have. So that's it for me.
Thanks, Eleanor. I know there's a few questions, so we can kind of tap into those. And then if you didn't see the chat earlier, guys, if you have any other questions, just throw them in the chat as well, and we'll make sure to get to them. Can you remind us the date and time of the event?
Yeah, so the conference itself begins April 24th through May 2nd. And that first few days, 2 days, are going to be an in-person sessions. As I said, very limited seating, social distancing, all the health protocols followed. And then the following full week will be the online sessions. And exhibitors and sponsors are participating from the very beginning, even before the very beginning, as we do our marketing materials and our promotions all the way through the entire conference.
Awesome. And there's a couple other ones. Can you tap into a little bit in more detail about kind of what the networking opportunity they offer, whether that's inside or outside the event? Kind of what does that look like at this time?
At this time, and this we may grow this, but what we know now is that our networking events are going to happen towards the evening of our online portion. They're going to be virtual. So our classes run all the way from, I think, 8 in the morning until 5 or so in the afternoon. And then we're going to break, and we're going to have these virtual networking tables. And those are going to be after that. So like 5 to 6, like a happy hour time frame, more or less. And one of the things we're talking about doing is creating a spinning wheel, like in a program, a virtual spinning wheel. And exhibitors can offer door prizes, and we would have the people who participate put their names on the spinning wheel, and it'll be a fun interactive game to play. And we're thinking about that and other ways that are just creative, thinking outside the box to really engage our writing community.
Perfect. If you were to, if you have a sponsor and they provide kind of their flyers and their information and stuff like that, would you also need gift bags or business item supports in addition to the passport gifts for visiting exhibitors or for those door prizes? Kind of what does that look like?
Well, if exhibitors and sponsors want to provide gifts for door prizes, or like I said, the roulette wheel kind of a game, that would be fantastic. In the virtual environment, it's less about the actual giveaways. If we were face to face, of course, typically we do have the tables and the giveaways. This is in a virtual environment. It's more about what participants can can download virtually. It's a, virtual. So it's actually a lot easier for exhibitors because they don't have to bring, 300, pens or, what have you. So it's all virtual stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, which actually makes it, very convenient because we'll set you up. We have a whole process of walking you through and holding your hand, setting up your virtual table. So you can, and we'll do that well before the event.
Awesome. So I think I have one more question in regards to kind of the events. And then there are quite a few questions in regards to just what you do. So what I'll do is once we answer this question, are you guys good to go if we jump into those questions?
Sure.
Perfect. So the final question in regards to kind of the event space, unless anybody else wants to add something, is how many title sponsors will be allowed at the $500 level? Do you guys have a magic number?
Well, we're the $500 level, we're hoping to limit it to 10. That is, we want our sponsors at the $500 level to get a huge amount of attention. And so we're pinpointing 10, and we have already a handful already. And then of course at the $50 level for the exhibitor, it's really sky's the limit for that.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for all that good info. I am going to kind of dive into some of the non-event questions. There's a question from Lorraine. Lorraine, you might need to expand on this a little bit if needed, but how does your organization support beginning writers, and how much is the conference itself for attendees?
Rhonda, do you want me to take that, or would you like to?
How about if I started and you finish it?
Okay.
The first part of the question really is, how do we help new writers? Oh my goodness. We have classes, workshops, about half of them are free. We have monthly coffees. We can help you get a critique group set up. It's a great organization for new members. It costs $45 a year to join. And we frequently have little coupons here and there to bring that price down. The conference, I don't remember. Yeah, you take that one. I don't remember how much it costs.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, we have a hybrid where we have a few sessions that are in person, and if you just want to do those, that's $100. And then the online, which is going to be between 25 and 30 different sessions, that's going to be $200 to register. And then if you register after, I think it's about a month before the event, it goes up to $225. So it's incredibly cost effective and very, very reasonable.
I want to interject here too that all of the sessions will be recorded and you can access all of the recordings. So if you can't attend when the session is live, no worries. Or if you are attending one session but you really wanted to attend a different one at the same time, no problem. So we tried to keep the price much lower. It's about half of what our conference cost last year, because these are tough times. So we've kept it low.
Awesome, thank you. Kind of another question, kind of in regards to some of the work you guys do is there's questions on if you offer workshops for technical or grant writing.
Yeah, yes, we have. Not specifically grant writing, but that is something that I could easily put together. We have grant writers as members that we could bring in. We have a host of technical writers. We have several members, like many, who do technical writing for a living, but they do fiction as a hobby. So we've got all kinds of people who can help you out with. And I'm looking at a question from Sylvia, who's small businesses who just need someone to come in and write a little web copy or this or that, we can connect you with the people who do that. We have a whole we have a tab on our website that specifically talks about that.
Awesome. There's a few kind of fun ones. Let me see if I can track them down.
Oh, we love fun ones.
There's a question from Todd. What local writers are each of you reading right now?
I went away and grabbed a pile of them. Let me show you one at a time. This is All the Broken People. It was actually written by our director, Amy Rivers. This book is getting awards all over the place. It's fantastic. It is a mystery based on a true story in Georgia, where in the early 1900s, a young woman was murdered by her husband. And I love this book. We have also, this is called Remember Wake. It is written by Teresa Funk, who's, let me get this. She is one of the keynote speakers at our conference. And Remember Wake is the story of, it's a naval story. She writes World War II era historical fiction. It's fantastic stuff. This is a book that just came out by Laura Risawa. It's called Tree of Dreams. And it is sort of a middle grade environmental disaster kind of book. It's delightful. Here's another one, just finished reading it, by Joe Seipel, one of our members. It's called The 5 Wishes of Mr. Murray McBride. It's about this older gentleman here who has just turned 100 and really doesn't see why he should be alive anymore. And he ends up meeting this young kid who's got a heart issue, who it's going to kill him. And this kid has 5 wishes he wants to fulfill before he dies. So Murray finds a reason to live by helping this kid fulfill his 5 wishes. And you'll cry, you'll laugh. It's delightful. And in fact, because I know Joe and I write screenplays, I have adapted this book to a screenplay, and I'm finished it and I'm letting it marinate. When I write something and then I have to put it away for about 6 months before I can pick it up again to edit it. So that's just the ones I could grab easily. If I could go on and on, because I have another stack here, but I think there might be other questions.
Perfect. What is the youngest writer in your group? Is there like an age, kind of give us an age group of your members?
We have high school students as members. We have a special student rate. It's like $20 or something for a year membership. So we have high school students. We have a couple of members who are well into their 80s or 90s. So we've got every age you want. We've got members that are that age. We've got a lot of young people who are in their 20s and early 30s that, dang, I wish I had gotten into this kind of writing when I was that age, but back then I was a scientist, so yeah.
So kind of another question along kind of your alumni or group members, is anyone famous? Anyone kind of jumped ship and became a big famous writer or a screenplay writer or something like that?
Yes, and why am I blanking on his name? We have a New York Times bestseller author who
Well, Rhonda,
and I'll find him. I'm blanking.
While you're thinking, I don't know if any of you know Margaret Mitsushima. She is our member, and she writes a crime series, a canine crime series, and she just won, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, a Colorado Writer of the Year. So we're very proud of her.
That's actually a perfect segue into another question that I do have. Is can you guys help writers navigate the process on how to get their book, either into or like online, whether that's in kind of this Kindle world, or how to get the books into the library system? It's that kind of under your umbrella of resources?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. We've recently run a couple classes on how to publish through Kindle Direct Publishing. We've got scores of people who either self-publish, or we've got Carrie Flanagan who she self-publishes, and she has stuff that's traditionally published. So how to navigate all that? Oh yes, indeed, we've got.
Yeah, and we're going to have classes on that as part of the conference as well. So those are ongoing as well as part of our conference lineup.
Awesome. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I've actually run into you guys pre-COVID having kind of your writer session, like whether it was at a coffee shop or Wolverine Farm or some local little spot in town. Is that something that you're planning on doing when restrictions are lifted, and kind of what does those interactions or experiences look like for one of your members?
Yeah. We have actually, even during COVID, we have not really discontinued those. We've just made them virtual, but we have many different events during the month. We have coffee shops, meetups at coffee shops. We have Pen at the Pub, which is in an evening. We have just a free form meeting. We have meetings that have a topic, a specific topic with you know, a keynote speaker. So I think we probably have 4 or 5, at least once a week, we have a writing event where we either gather virtually, or in normal times, of course, gather in person. Perfect.
And then that's all included in the $45 a year, or can you remind us what that price is for membership?
It's $45 and all that's included. And when we are not in a pandemic, we will frequently say, okay, whoever wants to join us and write, we're going to be at this coffee shop at this time. And we just sit around, and there's something about, if you want to get some writing done, being at a table where everyone else is writing, so you kind of have to too, that'll force you to get work done. And then you periodically take a break and talk to people about your struggles. I had to look up the name of the gentleman who is one of our most famous members. His name is Grant Blackwood, and he's been on the New York Times bestseller list, I don't know, all his life, I think. He's a fantastic guy. He occasionally will teach a class for us. He's done the Briggs Tanner novels. Sometimes he'll write things with Tom Clancy. They'll collaborate on stuff. So he's probably our most famous guy.
Very cool. Thanks for
And also, what's really cool, you go to an event like that, you can actually talk to him, and he's a nice person, and he's like famous, like he knows Stephen King, but he's also like just a regular guy. So that's one of the really great things about being in our organization, is you just never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah, and we have so many good writers who are either up and coming or very experienced, that we know that any moment we're going to have a bunch of writers who are going to be in that stratosphere.
So another question for you, and there's actually a couple folks that are kind of chiming in on this, is do you ever need readers? These people tend to believe they're not writers, but they love to read.
Absolutely. Yeah, part of the writing process, especially for longer pieces, is writers often need beta readers for their manuscripts. And I don't know that we have it right now, but it's probably a great idea that we could run by the rest of the leadership committee, is creating a list of local or regional readers who would like to be beta readers. So if that's what the question was about, then absolutely, it would be super helpful. And what a beta reader is taking a look at a manuscript that's almost ready and trying to see, you know, what still maybe needs to be worked on, what's working really well, and just, you know, some specific questions and reactions. But also reading, you know, book clubs. Rhonda, I'm not sure if we have book clubs, but I would imagine that would be something that we would, that would be very popular, because as writers, we're all readers.
Yeah, We actually don't, but Eleanor, that's a great idea. I'll talk to Amy about that, and we'll get something going.
Look at this, red carpet's doing their job. They're getting the creative juices flowing. I love it. Perfect, perfect. So we have a few more minutes. Does anybody else have any questions? Just put them in the chat. We'll make sure we kind of get them answered or clarified. Any other last minute questions? So one more question that just popped in. Are there any books being written about Fort Collins?
Yes.
Cool.
We have books about Fort Collins by a lot of times people will write what they know, and so I have a piece that's basically set in Fort Collins, and I've shelved it because a lot of people die, and I'm not into writing that during a pandemic. But off the top of my head, I can't think of a single title, but yes, yeah, we do.
Perfect. A couple other questions is Barbara Fleming also writes about Fort Collins history. Don't know if you guys know who she is.
Don't, but I'd love to know what she writes, because gosh.
Patty is who asked the question. Patty, I think you got homework. You got to email Rhonda.
Both Eleanor and I have put our emails into the chat. I see that Todd wants advice for middle school writers. You have one in your house. How fortunate that you have a writer in your house. That's huge. We have all kinds of things that would help a middle grade, that age of a writer. This is a great time for them to start exploring that craft. So yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Todd. All right, guys, going once, going twice. All righty. Well, let's do this. I'm going to bring everybody back. Can you see everybody? Is everybody in the same room? Everybody has a whole bunch of pictures? Perfect. Okay. So first things first, big thank you to Northern Colorado Writers. Really do appreciate they coming in. Learned a whole bunch, and thank you to Red Carpet for supporting them. So the last thing we got to do is we got to put them red carpet spirit fingers back up, and let's give them a big thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. We do have about 5 minutes. So usually what I like to do with the last couple minutes is if you have a announcement you want to make to the red carpet group, please raise your hand and I will keep an eye out for you. Todd, I see your hands up.
So as everyone likely got our flyer this last Friday, we are running a special for January. It's available for anyone and all, not just red carpet members. So if you were wanting to talk to someone about our practice, we would love the shout out. Refer to the red carpet email that came out on Friday. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Lorraine, I see your hand is up too.
Hi, I'm with Kind to You Coaching, and I am offering a $50 scholarship for anyone who wants to start getting their health in line and be ready for the new year. As you guys know, I have reduced all my pain from 5 years of chronic back pain, and I lost 43 pounds this year, and I'd love to help you do the same. So if you know anybody who's looking to have a health journey for transformational overall body, I'm offering a $50 scholarship. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lorraine. Patty.
I'm initiating our Girl Leaders program January 25th. And at the end of that, we will be offering a $300 scholarship to help pay for the first class for these young girls who participate that are 16 to 19 years old and teen moms. So I'm looking for businesses or anybody who would be willing to help us sponsor a $300 scholarship in any amount. It will be an annual program next year that starts through the school year, but this first one will run January through August.
Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
Steve, go ahead and unmute yourself. I think I automatically muted you.
No problem. Just want to let you know that a little help we are trying to respond to seniors who are in need of transportation, especially those 70 and older for vaccinations. If you know of people who who are going to need rides or have some other vaccine related issues that a little help could work out with them, please let us know. Our website is just alittlehelp.org. A great way to get in touch with us. But again, these things are rolling out. People need to get to their appointments, and hopefully, and we're also looking for volunteers who will help drive folks 70 and older to their vaccine appointments.
Thanks, Steve. Anybody else? Okay, well, we do have a guest today, Habib. I am going to put you on the spot if you're willing to introduce yourself. Habib is a guest to Red Carpet today, so we are excited to have him. Habib, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Habib Anwar, and I have been in the Fort Collins region for about 12 years now. I am a financial advisor with Edward Jones. I joined during these COVID times because I realized that about 70% of all of US does not have financial plans in place for their retirement or for their kids' education. So I'm here just to share my resources for anyone who needs help. But that being said, I love this Red Carpet. Kudos to all of you for doing this. And if I can have, I just want to send you guys a personal thank you to all of you for having made this and such a huge success.
Of course, Habib, we're just happy you joined us today. It's always good to have guests, and we hope you consider joining Red Carpet in the future. We'd love to have you.
Thank you. I think Laurie was trying to say something before you brought me on and put me on the spot.
Did I cut someone off, Laurie? Did I cut you off?
No, I was just gonna say, after Steve had said that, I just want to let you know I volunteer with A Little Help, and it's just it's a great organization, and you get so much out of helping these people who really could, whether it's a ride or dropping something off, getting their medication, or helping them with technology. There's so many great things that we can do, and it doesn't take a lot of your time. So if you have a chance, help them.
Perfect. Thanks for that shout out. We got about 1 minute. Anybody got a 1 minute announcement they want to make? Wave your hands. I got to see you wave them. Nope. All right. I think we're good. All right. It is 10 o'clock on the dot. So again, I appreciate you guys participating today. Keep an eye out. You will receive an email tomorrow with the Zoom link for our next Red Carpet event. And then if you have any questions or need to get in touch with me, please just shoot me an email or give the chamber a call. But I will just plan on seeing you wonderful people on Thursday. Everybody have a good day.